Imagine a day exactly like today. The sky is a brilliant, uninterrupted blue. The world feels permanent, unshakable. Civilizations hum in the background, power lines buzz, and billions of people move through their day, certain that tomorrow will look exactly like today. Then, without warning, the earth takes a deep, shuddering breath. A roar louder than any man-made explosion shatters the silence, and the horizon lifts upwards. In an instant, the midday sky turns pitch black, blotted out by a column of ash rising 20 miles high. The air grows heavy with sulfur. Within hours, the sun is a dim ember behind a thick veil of smog, and global temperatures plummet. This isn't science fiction. It is a memory. A single supervolcano releases more energy than humanity's entire nuclear arsenal combined. It is a force capable of erasing civilization in days. The terrifying truth is that the Earth has done this before. Today, we track the deep scars of our planet, from ancient extinctions to near apocalypses. These are the biggest volcanic eruptions in history. These are the eruptions that changed Earth forever. To understand what lies beneath our feet, we must shift our perspective. We usually picture a cone-shaped mountain and a stream of lava. These are standard eruptions. But there is another beast entirely, the supervolcano. These monsters don't build mountains. They blow them apart, collapsing into massive craters visible from space. Some of these calderas stretch for tens of kilometers, so wide that you could live your entire life inside one and never realize you were standing in the scar of an ancient explosion. While most eruptions are local tragedies, a supervolcano is a global event. When one of these giants erupts, it alters ocean chemistry, shifts the climate for centuries, and rewrites evolution. If you enjoy these cinematic journeys into Earth's hidden history, subscribe to The Last Silence now. Let's move to the first eruption that nearly ended life itself. We begin 252 million years ago, in the Permian period. The planet was lush until the ground in what is now Siberia tore open. This wasn't a standard eruption. It was a flood of fire. For 2 million years, the Earth bled, covering a region the size of the United States in basalt rock. But the lava was not the primary killer. As magma burned through coal deposits, it released trillions of tons of carbon dioxide. The oceans turned acidic and anoxic, transformed into a stagnant soup populated by sulfur-eating bacteria. Coral reefs crumbled, fish suffocated in the dark water, and entire food chains collapsed from the bottom up. The seas that had once been nurseries of life became toxic deserts. Scientists call this the Great Dying. It is estimated that 96% of all marine species and 70% of terrestrial life vanished. The evolutionary clock was reset. When the fires finally burned out, the Earth was a graveyard. Fast forward to 74,000 years ago, on the island of Sumatra. Here, the Toba supervolcano awoke. This event didn't just threaten the biosphere, it threatened us. Toba was thousands of times more powerful than Mount St. Helens, ejecting 2,800 cubic kilometers of rock into the sky. The massive injection of sulfur dioxide acted like a mirror, reflecting the sun and plunging Earth into a volcanic winter. Genetic studies propose a chilling possibility. Around this time, the human population crashed. Some theories suggest our species was reduced to fewer than a few thousand breeding pairs. That is a population smaller than a modern town, scattered across an entire continent, and facing an endless winter with Stone Age tools. We were an endangered species, clinging to survival in a few isolated pockets of Africa. Every human alive today is a descendant of those few survivors. If you've stayed with us this far, hitting the like button helps this story reach more people. In 1815, humanity felt in control. Then, Mount Tambora erupted. It remains the largest eruption in recorded history, heard 1,600 miles away. But the true horror was the silent aftermath. 1816 became known as the year without a summer. Ash circled the globe, disrupting weather patterns. In Europe and North America, snow fell in June. Crops rotted in the fields, leading to famine and riots. The cultural impact was profound. The gloomy rain trapped Mary Shelley indoors, inspiring Frankenstein. Even the invention of the bicycle is linked to this event. As horses starved, humans needed a new way to move. Tambora proved that a single mountain could bring civilization to a grinding halt. Today, we visit Yellowstone as tourists, taking photos of the beautiful caldera, often unaware we are standing on a sleeping giant. The magma chamber beneath is an active, breathing beast. If Yellowstone erupted today, the consequences would be incomprehensible. The blast would wipe out surrounding states, but the ash is the true enemy. It would coat the world's breadbasket in cement-like dust. Agriculture would collapse. Jet engines would fail. The intricate web of our supply chains and power grids would snap. Data centers would go dark. Satellites would fall silent above a shrouded planet. And within weeks, a hyper-connected civilization would find itself pushed back into a pre-digital world. In the aftermath, as skies darkened, our cities would fall quiet. Nature would eventually reclaim the ruins of our skyscrapers, just as it reclaimed the lava fields of Siberia. The planet has recovered from worse. The question is not whether Earth would survive, but whether we would be here to see it. These eruptions were mere moments in geological time, yet they dictated the fate of millions of species. They remind us that we are not masters of this planet. We are tenants. Civilizations rise and fall, but the Earth's fire burns eternal. It is a cycle of destruction and rebirth that will continue long after our voices have faded. After each catastrophe, when the ash finally settled and the fires went out, a heavy silence fell over the planet, a silence that has echoed through deep time. These were the biggest volcanic eruptions in history, moments that rewrote the skies. If you want to see what Earth might look like in the deep future, don't miss our upcoming documentaries. Subscribe now to continue the journey. And if you are ready for the next chapter, this video about Earth after humans is ready for you to watch.